we go. Welcome everyone. 2 days in a row of building Lego sets from my childhood. Thank you for joining me on my journey down Lego memory lane. I came up with that today. I think I'm gonna go with that. Set that I'll be working on is one from my childhood and just so happens to be the only Lego castle set that I had as a kid. This is Lego 6059 Knight Stronghold. Not a very big set, 206 pieces I believe, and that includes a part that I already built so far. This is the catapult. And this is really cool. I was like trying to figure out while I was building this, I'm like, why does it have this piece that's in the middle here? And then I found out you go like this and it works. And I was like, oh, that is pretty cool. So I am working my way through building this. We'll do at least the first part of it here with you guys. I'm just trying to live stream a little bit of what I'm working on each day, but I just love this. That's so cool. I thought this was just for display until I built the counterweight that's on here. And I was like, let me just see what happens. I kind of blocked it with my hand. Let's do it again while everybody's coming in. This will give you something exciting to look forward to, you know? It's like, boom. And then you could put like little cannonballs and stuff in there and just have yourself a whole experience with this set. And you haven't even started building the castle yet. Let's see if it actually flings something. Should we save this for the video or should you guys get a sneak peek? Let's see. It works. Wow. The Lego designers, even 35, how dare it be 35 years ago? 1990 was 35 years ago. They knew what they were doing even back then. So we got a catapult built. I had to make some substitutions in this set to start out with. You'll see that in the video. That became a whole thing. Clark Man already built the minifigs up for me. Here's the figs. I'm kind of working on a time lapse here too. So we'll try to be cautious of that as I build because I want it to look cool. I like to see pieces disappearing from there and becoming here. And yeah, so that's what we've done so far. The middle of this manual has fallen out. So we're kind of stuck like this, but that's okay. Just like that. This is the part that I had to sub. Hopefully you can see that okay. And how's the shot look? Pretty cool. We got Robo Guardian kind of hanging out here. Yeah. You need a Robo Guardian in your live stream, I feel like. I'm thinking about adding him as a cast member of the Brickitect channel. I feel like he deserves to be a part of it. He's a part of my childhood. He was in like this stage that I'm in where I want to rebuild these sets from my childhood. And I feel like the Robo Guardian deserves to have a place. So until I get a live parrot, which is what I really want to get, Robo Guardian just be in the background there. You can't see him totally, but you know his presence is with us. I want to welcome everybody in, everyone saying hi. Janelle, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. Let's start building this setup. I think my substitution that I had to do here, I don't think it's going to impact me too negatively because all these pieces are actually going to get connected together. So I think it's going to be okay. But we are back in 1990, which means that these instructions are a little tricky. Like, they don't show you what pieces you need. They don't show you what's going on, except for that little bit up there. You're kind of just left making sure that your model looks like this one. And oftentimes you'll get to like 4 steps later and you're like, where did that piece come from? And then you realize it was from, step 1 or whatever. Not a catastrophe like it would be if you're building a Lego Technic set, but still something to be cautious of and also to be thankful for. Modern day Lego instructions, they hold your hand and I have no complaints about that. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice when someone holds your hand and keeps you safe. And that's what modern Lego does. And it makes it a heck of a lot easier to build. So for now, we're just going to try to build like kind of freely here until these pieces get connected in the next step. And then it'll be like this never happened. For whatever reason, I didn't have those parts. In my modern collection, my vintage collection, and it wasn't in this. This is from the $200 vintage lot that I got over the summer. If you want to see a really fun video. Oh, there's a sword in there. I needed that. Watch our vintage lot that we got from over the summer. There's just insane amount of stuff in there. I think they had this kind of like off to the side here. I don't remember if it was down or up. Let's find out. I want to build it properly, even though we are building the set improperly. That's a little sword that goes on the side there. Cool. I thought that was the sword that the knight was holding. So we'll just put that in the background. You'll see all the minifigs in the video and stuff. I've been doing like really great. Like I have a system now where I try to get all my stuff done, and then I come down here and I start shooting a video for the Lego channel, the one you're watching, Brickitect as it's known in some circles. And then, since I'm working on something, I'm like, hey, let's build a little bit on stream or whatever. I'm recording this while it happens, so I can use this as a time lapse, which is what I did in yesterday's video. And then, like when I'm done with this, I had a little bit of time, at least I did yesterday, and I just went ahead and edited that video. So it's like an all in one day, I got a project started, recorded a live stream, edited a whole video on it, finished a build, like in this case, the Robo Guardian, and had a whole video out that same day. I'm like, dude, this is great. And I'm getting like projects done and things off my list, and it feels awesome. So I want to thank you for giving me the encouragement to do that. People watching the channel obviously is a big help with that. I would still want to do this regardless, you know, but it's pretty cool knowing like this journey that I'm on, whatever it may be, building my vintage sets that I have, or just enjoying the Lego process in general, or sharing this with Clark Man whenever he's home. I think I might be missing another piece here. Oh, do I need to give you guys a warning? I don't think I do, but one person complained about the sounds of Lego scooting around in yesterday's video. And my only response to that is, this is a Lego live stream where I'm building a set. You're going to hear some pieces, maybe even some peaches, scooching around a bit. So if your ears are sensitive to that, if you're treating this like a podcast, I'm sorry. You're going to hear some noise in the background, mainly this. So if that bothers you, my apologies. I'll apologize in advance. Oh, I didn't even need that piece. That was me imagining that I would need that one. If that bothers you, like, this might not be the audio experience that you've dreamed of. Obviously, visually not much to look at either as a part of a time lapse, but hey, we're here together, and if you're okay with hearing me dig, and if you're okay with all the nonsense that I ramble on about, we're going to be in good shape here. Okay, let's get to building here. My parts are now fused together, which is exactly what I needed. I do need a couple more pieces to complete step 2, though. I forget how many steps this is in total. It's not many. I think that entire middle book that I pulled out was like the 14 steps. So we completed step 2. We're on step 3 now. And it requires black corner pieces to cover this. Oh, wait, no, I do need more step 2. See, this is how they get you. This is only 206 pieces, by the way, so this won't be too much of a lengthy build. But it's enough. I was trying to figure out my ideal stream length. And I think 30 minutes. I like 30 minutes is like a nice number to not wear out my welcome, to not feel like it's gone on too long. I just feel like 30 minutes is ideal. So I'm going to experiment with that, and you'll have to tell me if that's good or if that works for you. Some people, they'd like a 3-hour one, maybe. But you can do that every once in a while, but eventually it just is like, okay, that's a lot of just yapping about stuff. I need some black singles, I believe. So they might be in here. I'm going to dig these out. This will all help with the scooching of pieces too. It's funny how all it takes is one person to say like something, and then you're like self-conscious of that, which is crazy. Like, oh, the sounds of that moving around. And it's like, oh gosh, how loud was it? I listened to it back afterwards, and I was like, that sounds acceptable to me. It sounds appropriate, you know, in terms of sounds. But you know, some people are sensitive to such things. And my microphone is actually on my like shirt collar here, and it's hard to eliminate all sounds of everything. Maybe there's a way to do it. I don't know. So there we go. We got step 3 done. Well, nope, there's more. I keep thinking that I have a step done. We got to put these 2 pieces on. And that'll actually take us to step 4. Step 4 being complete. Let's verify, though. Make sure everything's good. And I like to get these things all stacked up perfectly. I like that. That looks nice to me. Okay, let's go on. So this whole intersection is completely out of this. I guess the staples or the glue or whatever is holding it together. I don't even see any staples in it. It's given up. So these doors, I remember one of these doors I ended up losing at some point in my Lego childhood collecting journey. And it was always a bummer because I didn't have the second door, but now I do. And I'm not, as you'll see in the video that I'm making about this set, I'm not entirely sure if this set was intended to be built out of this or not. Because there is some stuff that's kind of suspicious, like that was missing, that I wasn't losing before when I was building these sets up. So Janelle says 30 minutes to an hour optimal. I think so too. I think anything over that. Wait a minute. Are these not the right? I don't think these are the right size doors. I think that's going to be a problem too. Are they? Are they not? Because they're not, unless, oh, maybe I have to turn them this way. No, that's the way they're supposed to be. Is this the right size? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Do I need bigger doors? Do I have bigger doors? This set might be dead in the water. I don't know if I have the doors for this. I thought these were the ones. These are like the biggest ones that I have. That's definitely a lot of digging. No, it's got to be. Why is my thing not lining up properly? Do I have these in the wrong spot? Like they should seal on each other. You see what's happening there? Yeah, I'm wondering if I need bigger doors. That's going to be a problem. Let me look at my collection. This is another situation of going to BrickLink and just being like, yeah, that looks like the right piece. I'm going to have to look and see if I have a castle door in here. Prepare for a lot of digging. Where I can compare it to the one that I have. No, that's the same size as the one that I have from my childhood. Something is afoot here. And I got to figure out what it is. Because that just doesn't make any sense. How is theirs closing but mine isn't? Do you see what's going on here? What am I doing wrong? They're in the right place. Clearly the doors aren't the right size though. Let me see if do I have any other doors? Because the ones that I had from my childhood are the same size, I believe. Unless those ones aren't from my childhood. They could be from the Mrs.'s collection, because ours kind of fused together at one point. Let me see here. They look right, but they must be smaller. Unless I'm doing something wrong. But I'm not. There's no way that this works. Why does it look right? It's so bizarre. It looks like the right size, but it's not. It might not have the right doors. And I don't think that there's any substituting this, because I have all of the pieces from this lot. And there's no like giant castle doors in there. Unless this is it. Same size. This is everything. They're the biggest doors that I have. Those two. How are they sealing on there? We have the right size everything. They must not be. That might foil my plan for building it. So I'll try to build the rest of it. We're going to have to order some parts on BrickLink, apparently. Because that just isn't checking out. Let me look at something once. Let's look at BrickLink. Pardon me as I leave for BrickLink. Look at 6059 and see what those pieces are and if they are in any other sets. So if we look at brown, 1 by 5 by 10 curved top. Yeah, I don't think that's it, Chief. In 10 sets. Oh, they're in black. Sugar Shack. I was thinking I could borrow them. They're in brown in 4 sets. Royal Knight's Castle, Knight's Stronghold, which is what this is, and King's Mountain Fortress, and just one titled Castle set in brown. So it's supposed to be 10 tall, huh? Let's see here. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's close. It's close, but it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It's again got me thinking that this set wasn't intended to be built from this collection. Let's see, there's 4. Yeah, that only shows 3. There must be just one bigger than this. But that means I would have it in my collection. It would have to be in there. Let me look again. I swear I was missing one, though. Let's look one more time. Hmm. Nope. Nope. I think we're doomed. I think we're very much doomed here. All right, well, that's bizarre, because I remember them being similar to that size, but I must have had bigger ones than that. And I remember the Fort Legarado, which is where the black ones are from, are bigger. But why don't I have them in my collection anymore? And where did they go? I guess I could still keep building it. We'll hold that as a placeholder. I'll keep continuing on with the build. This one has definitely gone off the rails in another situation where, like, just looking on BrickLink, you know, when you see the photo of it, even in the set, I was like, yeah, that's clearly the one. But the other one looks to be longer and wider. Yes, there's one size larger. I need to order 2 parts for this too, so I'm just gonna add that to my list. Clark and I are working on, like, we keep adding stuff to our BrickLink wanted list, and I'm gonna try my best to order everything from like one person. I know that'll probably be impossible, but we can give it a shot. This is gonna look really janky with those doors though, which I'm kind of bummed about. But man, it's not much of a castle when the doors are like wide open like that. I think it'd be pretty easy to break into this place. Let's build the rest of it up though, because you can't let things like that set you back. I'm not gonna just be like, oh, gotta bail on this build. I can build the rest and then we'll just get the right parts. Because I was already off from the start. But this again is another situation where BrickLink got me, and another situation where I thought I had everything for this. So if I were to like trying to be doing this to sell, and I've had other people mention their strategy related to this. Like if I was buying this to sell, or if, say I just had this to sell, it would have been real bad for me as a seller to send this to somebody with the wrong doors. I would have been like, yep, 100% complete, you can count on me. And then they get it and they go to build it and they're like, wait a minute, that's not right. So I recommend, and this is what everyone in the comments said, they said, I usually build the set up before I sell it. And that's a smart thing to do, because then you realize sizing errors. That's the 2 things that I ran into. Was with the last one is I had Technic gear and then an axle that was either too big or too small. So you got to watch those things. Otherwise, you're going to end up really hurting somebody. Wait, this goes in like this. But I can just take those doors off. This will be a real easy fix. I'll take the doors off and then I'll substitute the bottom part out and then we'll have it fixed up. Plus it's like a little follow-up I can do too, which is kind of cool. But I think overall, when things like this happen, you can't get worked up about it. It's just a part of the experience. It's part of being a Lego builder. If you're collecting sets that are 35 years old, you're going to run into situations where you don't have all the right parts. And sometimes that happens, and that's okay. Do I have this part that I need? Let's pull this out. I can only blame myself, though, because I was the one. I should have 2 of those, huh? Why don't I have those? See, I'm running into more problems. I should double check these things before I do them. We need 1x1s. Luckily, that's an easy find. Will they be the right gray, though? I don't know if that'll be totally noticeable. It might be, though. Wonder if I should go try to find some gray 1x1s, because these are going to be like, yeah, they're the wrong gray. Ooh, that's going to be gross. Let's see if I can find one that color matches it. Ooh, I'm going to have to go back. I can't do it. I tried putting light bluish gray in here before, and it's just, I can't live that life at all. So we'll substitute those in. I'll find those in my collection easily. We're going to have to go back to the drawing boards on this one. How is it sized up? Yeah, they're not the right size, as you can see here. These are much too small. But I remember the ones from Fort Legarado. That's the ones that I had as a kid, and they were much bigger than that. I just don't seem to have any of those in my collection, which is the most bizarre thing, because I didn't actually pull these from my collection. This came from the vintage lot. So it's all very strange that's like that. But we completed step 6. Oh man, I need more 1x1 plates. Dang, that's a problem. I'm going to have to go really digging for this. In fact, that's going to be probably necessary to do now, which I didn't want to do now because that's going to set off the stream, but hey, it's okay. We tried to build this thing, As it was, it all came down to my poor inventorying skills, I think. It's something I really got to work on. I will put the rest of these pieces on just so you can get an idea of what this looks like. This is going to be, I mentioned 30-minute streams. This is going to be more like a, I think we just hit 20 minutes. It's about as far as we're going to get with this. Oh, the top of this, these work great for the doors, but there needs to be more in the middle there. What a bummer. What a bummer. And this is where, yeah, this is where I need to start putting those other pieces on top of pieces that I don't have. I'll put the little lights on though. Do I have those? Could I at least put the lights on the front? What a fail. Those doors, hey, that doesn't fit in there very well. It'll work though. Those doors are going to be the death of me. I wonder how much they are. Let me see how much they are on BrickLink. I'm kind of curious. That piece fits in there real nice. The other one's like very loose. But we got them. We got some little lanterns on the front. Let's see what they cost on BrickLink just for funsies. So if I need them in brown, it's part number 2400, 1x5x10 curved top door. And I need it in brown. Oh no. Well, okay, there's a bunch of them listed. Let me see. USA seller. And, oh, they're like $2.50 each. That's not bad. I want one with good condition, though. That's one thing I'm going to be looking for. I need somebody with 2 of them. So minimum quantity, I'll say 2. And then we'll search. And if I can get good shape for their age. I don't know if I love that. Great condition. How about that? That guy's selling for $3.60 each. So if I could find a seller that has those 2 parts and then these 2 parts, I could probably justify making an order just for that. So I'd be dropping probably like, I don't know, $11 or something like that just in BrickLink parts and shipping. Shipping would be about half the cost probably, but it's worth it for that. I'll put this piece on too. I'm trying to do what I can without the parts that I need. Didn't really pan out for this one, but as such, it happens in the world of Lego. I'll be like, do you notice anything weird about this set? You notice anything different here? Not quite the castle we dreamed of, and I think that's where I'm going to have to leave you guys, unfortunately, because all of these parts that I'm doing here, I'll try to show this to you the best that I can. At least give you your money's worth here. Jeez. I'm going to give everyone a full refund after this. This is where I'm at, and the parts that I'm missing are these 1x1 plates right there, and then I'm missing those ones too. I don't know what happened. I guess I decided that I wasn't going to grab the 1x1 plates, and those green pieces, that should have been like one of the first things that I found in the BrickLink inventory, but for whatever reason didn't collect them at all. And that could come down to Clark and I kind of doing colors, because I probably went right to the black pieces and was going through them, and I don't think I ever got to the green apparently. But that's okay. We'll make this work as it is. I'll share my experience, and then we could always do a follow-up where I get the BrickLink order, and that'll be fun, getting this thing built to spec. And I might even see if some other parts are on there too of things that we need, because we're working on minifigs as well. So I need somebody that not only has castle doors, these green plates would be wonderful, and then a whole bunch of minifig parts. That might be asking a lot. But if you want to see what this set's going to look like, because you're not going to see it here in the stream, unfortunately. This is what it will be, minus some tiny little doors there in the center. But we'll get there, and I'm going to continue grinding this out, and I'll film my video, and I'll try to have this out for you guys today. How does that sound? Does that make up for my failure here in the stream? I don't know about that, but we're making do with what we got. Those little doors. Good Lord, those little doors or something. You could probably put your horse right through there if you didn't have accessories on. The horse could just kind of like be feeding there, or almost make it through. Well, if you didn't have a saddle, let's see. We'll do a proper test here. One that needs done. We'll take the horse, put his back on, because he needs to be a complete horse. Could you horse walk through? Absolutely. I think that could be the display right there, honestly. You just have the horse there in the center. No one's ever going to know. How would they ever be able to tell that? Maybe I'll do that. It'll be like a Where's Waldo. Do you notice anything wrong with this castle? No, I think it's okay. Maybe we'll just keep it like that. It's now custom. This is what Lego's meant to be, right? I'm trying to justify it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this rather short stream of me working on the set. I had fun with the limited time we had until everything went wrong. That was all good. But it's part of Legoing. You make do, and then you make BrickLink purchases. Hope you guys have a glorious rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next stream.